Have you ever wondered why religious differences between Catholics and Protestants have shaped the political landscape for centuries? The divide between these two branches of Christianity is not just about theology. It has been at the heart of wars, colonization, and even modern-day political conflicts. From the 16th century's Protestant Reformation to the ongoing peace efforts in Northern Ireland, this conflict has left a lasting mark on history. The roots of the Catholic-Protestant divide go back to the early 16th century when the Catholic Church dominated both religious and political life in Europe. The Church, led by the Pope, held immense power, not just spiritually but also in government and society. The catalyst for the divide came in 1517, when Martin Luther, a German monk, nailed his 95 Theses to the church door in Wittenberg. This act challenged the Church's teachings on indulgences and questioned the Pope's authority. Luther's ideas spread rapidly, igniting the Protestant Reformation. Protestants rejected the Catholic Church's hierarchy, emphasizing individual interpretation of the Bible and salvation through faith alone. These theological differences led to the creation of various Protestant denominations, sparking not only religious but also profound political changes in Europe, forever altering the religious landscape. The Protestant Reformation quickly spilled into the political sphere, reshaping Europe's power dynamics. As Protestantism spread, many rulers saw an opportunity to break away from the control of the Catholic Church and assert their independence. German princes, for example, embraced Protestantism not only for religious reasons but also to gain autonomy from the Holy Roman Empire. England followed suit under Henry VIII, who broke with the Catholic Church when the Pope refused to annul his marriage. As Protestant states emerged, Catholic monarchies responded aggressively. This led to a series of religious wars such as the 30 Years' War, 1618 to 1648, which devastated much of Europe. These conflicts were not just about theology. They were battles for political supremacy, with alliances forming around religious lines. The Reformation forever changed the relationship between church and state, setting the stage for modern nation-states. In England, the Reformation took a distinct path. King Henry VIII's break from the Catholic Church in 1534 was driven by his desire for political control rather than theological disagreements. After the Pope refused to grant him a divorce, Henry established the Church of England with the monarch as its supreme head. This move set off a century of religious turmoil as England swung between Catholicism and Protestantism under successive rulers. Queen Mary I, a devout Catholic, sought to reverse the Reformation, leading to violent persecution of Protestants. Her successor, Elizabeth I, restored Protestantism and solidified the Church of England's dominance. Religious conflicts simmered throughout the 17th century, culminating in the Glorious Revolution of 1688, which established a Protestant constitutional monarchy. The English Reformation not only reshaped England's political landscape but also set the foundation for religious tensions that would influence its future empire. Ireland became a flashpoint in the Catholic-Protestant divide, especially as English and Scottish Protestant settlers began colonizing predominantly Catholic regions in the 16th and 17th centuries. The tension was both religious and political, with the Catholic majority often resisting the rule of Protestant England. This conflict reached its peak during the Troubles in the late 20th century, a period of violent conflict in Northern Ireland that pitted the mainly Catholic nationalists, who wanted to unite with the Republic of Ireland, against the predominantly Protestant Unionists, who wanted to remain part of the United Kingdom. The violence claimed thousands of lives and tore communities apart. Although the Good Friday Agreement of 1998 largely brought peace, religious and political tensions still simmer beneath the surface in Northern Ireland. The Irish conflict demonstrates how deeply intertwined religious identity and political power can be. 12 key points of tension and compromise in the Catholic-Protestant conflict. 1. Papal authority versus scriptural authority. Protestants rejected the Pope's authority, asserting that the Bible alone is the ultimate source of religious authority, while Catholics maintained the Pope's role as Christ's representative on earth. 2. Justification by faith versus works. Catholics believed salvation required both faith and good works, whereas Protestants, following Martin Luther, argued that faith alone sufficed for salvation. 3. Role of the clergy. Catholic priests were required to be celibate and acted as intermediaries between God and the people, while Protestant clergy could marry and often had a more personal relationship with their congregations. 4. Interpretation of the Bible. Protestants encouraged individual interpretation of the Bible, translated into vernacular languages. Catholics, however, emphasized tradition and the Church's authority in interpreting Scripture. 5. Sacraments. Catholics recognized 7 sacraments, while most Protestant denominations acknowledged only 2, baptism and communion, arguing that only these were instituted by Christ. 6. Religious art and icons. Catholics use art and icons as part of their religious practice, believing they brought the divine closer to the faithful. Protestants often rejected these, seeing them as distractions or even idolatry. 7. Religious wars and state involvement. The Reformation sparked numerous wars across Europe, such as the 30 Years' War, where religion often served as a cover for deeper political and territorial ambitions. 8. Colonial expansion. Catholic and Protestant powers took their religious conflict overseas, with Protestant England and Catholic Spain competing fiercely during the colonization of the Americas. 9. Marriage laws. Catholic and Protestant rulers frequently used marriage to forge political alliances, and differing religious doctrines often complicated royal marriages and alliances. 10. Education and literacy. Protestants emphasized literacy so that individuals could read the Bible, leading to widespread education reforms, while Catholic education often remained controlled by the Church. 11. Economic factors. The Protestant work ethic, particularly in Calvinist regions, is often credited with fostering economic growth, in contrast to the wealth and control of the Catholic Church over vast lands. 12. Modern ecumenical movements. In the 20th century, ecumenical efforts emerged to bridge the gap between Catholics and Protestants, focusing on shared values and cooperative initiatives. The Catholic-Protestant conflict continues to influence modern politics and society, particularly in Western democracies. Protestant ideas about individualism, work ethic, and governance have deeply shaped the development of democratic institutions in Europe and North America. In the United States, the early settlers, many of whom were Protestants fleeing religious persecution, laid the groundwork for a strong separation of church and state. However, religious divides still surface in political debates, particularly around issues such as abortion, religious education, and the role of religion in public life. In regions like Northern Ireland, the political landscape remains divided along religious lines, with both communities still navigating the peace process. Though the violent conflicts of the past may have eased, the Catholic-Protestant divide continues to shape political affiliations, voting patterns, and even social issues in many parts of the world. Efforts to reconcile the Catholic-Protestant divide have made significant strides in recent decades. One of the most notable steps was the Second Vatican Council, 1962 to 1965, during which the Catholic Church modernized many of its practices and reached out to Protestant communities. This led to greater dialogue and mutual understanding, although significant theological differences remain. In addition, ecumenical movements have emerged, fostering collaboration between the two faiths, particularly on social and political issues such as poverty and human rights. Political efforts, such as the Good Friday Agreement in Northern Ireland, have also played a key role in reducing violence and promoting cooperation between Catholic and Protestant communities. While the wounds of centuries-old conflicts run deep, these modern efforts reflect a commitment to peace, understanding, and shared progress, offering hope for a more unified future. The Catholic-Protestant conflict is a testament to how religion and politics are intertwined in shaping history. From theological disagreements to full-scale wars, this divide has profoundly impacted nations, governments, and societies. Although much progress has been made toward reconciliation, echoes of the conflict remain in political and social arenas today. As we reflect on this complex history, it's important to continue fostering dialogue, understanding, and cooperation between these two branches of Christianity. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more content. Follow our channel Timeless Tales for more fascinating stories from history.